everybody, it's Simon Mcbride here, and I'm here today to tell you about this. This is the new Boss GT1000 Core. So what is it? It's basically the GT1000, the Big Daddy, the mothership one, only this size. It has all the same features, all the same effects. You can put your own impulse responses into it, same amp modeling, everything, you know. So now, anybody knows me, I'm a massive fan of Boss products, and I have the GT1000, which I use a lot of the time, whether it be live or whether it be in the studio. It's probably one of the most used bits of gear that I have. Now, the reason I love it is because I'm old school a little bit, and I like to play, you know, old, you know, valve amps. As you'll see behind me, there's a load of amps, and there's a lot of digital modelers out there, and don't get me wrong, a lot of them are great, but for me, it's all to do with the response. You know, when I plug into an amp, I dig in deep or dig hard, you know, it reacts with me, and you know, so, and some of the digital modelers, you don't get that, but with the Boss stuff, for some reason, it gives me that response, which is, to me, is more important than, you know, having a million sounds. So if I can plug into, say, this and get great tone anyway, but have that response, it's like, you know, it's a win-win situation for me. So, and it just makes my life a lot easier sometimes when I go on the road and I tour, and I can't bring all my own amps, and I have to, you know, do a festival and plug in very quickly. So, and get set up and go. So having the likes of this, where it feels great, it sounds amazing, I can plug in, get going, and do a great gig. And, you know, so that's what's the most important thing for me, is when it comes to any of this new technology. So it's the new Boss GT1000. It's an incredible unit. Let's have a listen to it. Okay, so let's have a listen through to some of the sounds I used in that song. When I got this GT1000 baby version, basically what I did was I uploaded all my presets, which I did for Boss a while back, into this unit. And it all sounds the same. So, the first one is basically it's kind of like a Marshall-y kind of a sound, that typical rock sound. So I used that primarily for the riff, that and one other sound, which I'll get to in a minute. So it was like all right, so one of the other sounds I used was a fuzz sound. I say fuzz, it was primarily an octave pedal with an Octavia on it, and it just gives you this really kind of filthy, stinking sound. So, where is it? So, this is what it sounds like. There's that one, and then I used, for the little clean part, which goes underneath the little guitar melody, was actually one of Boss's own presets. I just kind of tweaked it a little bit. It's one called Crystal Clydes. So, and this is it, you know, it's like... So you can hear it's got lots of crystals going on there, and it's really cool for just, you know, creating a bed for something to play over. So what's next then? What did I use? Oh yeah, I used for the lead sound in the melody section. I doubled it up a little bit, so I did cheat. I did an octave below and an octave up, but I used actually a simulation of a tweed style amp for this one. Just has a bit more mid-range honk in it. So you know, if you play down low, that's where you start to really hear the difference between, you know, a tweed style amp and an old school kind of Marshall. The Marshall's more tight, whereas a tweed is like that. Okay, so what else did I use? A little part I put at the end. I just used it's a Telecaster. I know this is not a Telecaster, but it'll do. So I used, and it was just really to layer up. It's a preset that I have called Blues Drive, and it's just like. So what else have I got in here? Okay, this is a basic clean sound. Is also usually a sound I use a lot, which sounds like this. Okay, so one more thing before I go. If I scroll back to my original sound, which was the kind of standard rock and roll thing, which is what I used for the solo section of this song. What I did was I put the, if you press the control button, it activates whatever pedal you want to use. I have a line boost just to give it a bit more, that kind of juice, if you want to call it. So I used it for the solo, which a bit like this. So on the recording, I recorded everything dry for the lead sound, but then what I did was I sent it out of my universal audio back into the GT1000 and bypassed all the amp simulation and just used straight effects, so like delays and reverbs. So again, there's another use you can, another way you can use it, sorry. Use it as a hardware thing for your studio if you want. If you want good reverbs and great delays, etc. It works perfectly. So, okay, I think I'm about done. So, catch us all the next time. See you later.